How's it going? Up down the road, we did first. I think I put up my mouth on that. I didn't.
Isaac didn't have to film anything. It's easy to sit there and just respect learn how to
Mark, you want to make a few housekeeping comments? We appreciate everybody coming out tonight. Thank you very much.
everybody attention for a second. Just a few housekeeping. See this sound alarm right here? See, very clear. It will pick up every word you say out here, and it will go to Facebook. So I want y'all to be very sincere about what you have to say.
Can we start all over again?
This is very strong. It can pick up Casey and Megan back there. I promise you. And so we'll talk about that more. And since we're doing it different with us staying in here, because if we did the work session in the cafeteria, we wouldn't have sound or we have streaming mechanisms to make that work. So we will ask you to hold it down and just to remember that. Restrooms, ladies to the left, men's to the right. And so we'll do this, and then we got Ellie and our ribbon cutting at about 6:55 inside. So with that, there's a police chief coming in. And picture that was going to that door. Yeah. Okay, thanks, sir. Anybody have any questions for now? But again, coffee, water, cookies in there.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and open this meeting up with a prayer. Y'all pray with me. Lord, thank you for allowing us to gather here this evening. We ask that you bless us, watch over us. We ask that you be mindful of our decisions that we make to glorify your name and glorify our city. Lord, we are thankful for what you've provided for us in the building that we sat in tonight. And we ask that you bless our community for many years to come. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right. Looking over the work session agenda, we have a few things on here to discuss this evening. First is the proposal for the business incubator program between Piedmont and the city of Demorest. Mark, do you want to start this off?
Yes, sir. I've got Santanu with us. He is the department head, and I cannot pronounce his last name. So Santa Nu. So I call him Professor Santanu. And he's going to talk about some different things because we have met with him, and Jerry has talked with him at several events. It's just for us to get some more information to see with the combination of what he has done at Georgia Southern before he came to Piedmont, with some joint projects between their city of Statesboro and the university. So we're just trying to gather the information, and so that's all we're looking for tonight is just gathering so we can see more what he's got to do. With that, Professor, you have the floor.
So let's start with the incubator thing, or like start with. Okay. You know,
coming to Piedmont, I wanted to work with the city and the community here. So it can be a good public-private partnership between the city, the community, as well as the students and us as educators. So one of the proposal was to, since we are celebrating the 50th year of Haversham, to create a permanent exhibit within the City Hall. So that will be designed by the students and executed by the students. So basically, they will work on several designs and will bring it in front of the board, in front of the committee, and also to the community, and they can choose the design that they like. And then finally, the students will work on that project. And we request the city to take care of the cost of the materials and other things. We will be building everything within Piedmont itself. So we have the machineries, the printers and things that we need, but the cost of the materials and cost of printing and things needed to be taken care of. That's proposal one. I have been working with the museum in Georgia Southern for like 10 years before I came here. And our students have done really successful work, which is in that proposal, like the images in that proposal. So this can be a good way to bridge, a connection between the university as well as the, the community here, and we take advantage of each other's, knowledge, support, and create a thriving community. The second thing that I have in mind is we would like to support our, startups and local businesses. Being university in Demorest, and we can be also supporting the businesses all around us by either helping them with economic impacts or marketing, or say making ad films, or any kind of graphic design materials, branding, signage systems. There can be several things we can be doing within, again, public-private partnership. And to start with that, we would like to join hands with the city, the chamber, and Piedmont to write a grant proposal to have a business incubator in the city itself, so that we can support local businesses, we can support the startups. That way we can thrive as a community. It will create jobs for the community. It will also have business taxes from new and upcoming businesses. So it will be helpful. Plus, there's a plus for us too. The plus is that our students will learn a lot because I'm a great believer. Like if they work, we do lectures and we give them some hands-on work, but they don't get the real-world experience by this private partnership. We should be able to give real-world experience to our students. They should be able to do internship with the community, the businesses and things like that, as well as they can be absorbed within the community, when they graduate. So these are the two initiatives. I put it in front of the board and request them to approve it. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So, with this program, y'all have any questions over? There's a lot to talk about on this. I can come out early. Number one, looking at the step of them coming in and building some larger sets for this group. John, I feel this has kind of been more fair.
I'm more interested in the business incubator part. I think on that we'd have to see, get an estimated cost before I can have some kind of comment on.
I think we we talked about it the other day. We got what were you thinking we put a cost on redoing the
Exhibit.
room?
The exhibit, I think I kind of, because I don't have design in front of me, but I kind of, it was about $8,000 something. That was the maximum size of the cost. It might be cheaper than that. chain kind of gateway instead of line. That since I want to have designs to be a cost might not be reasonable at this point, but I'm guessing that the budget I given is the max. We will not be considering it. And the thing is, like, you can also give me a budget that would work, and I'll work with that budget. It's because it's not, it's just a partnership where we are going to benefit otherwise, not monetary.
Since we're working this time right now on the budget, that's why I wanted to let us hit that and kind of look at that. Yeah.
It's like what they say that at least half of all small businesses fail in the first year. And I guess there's various reasons for doing that. And this seems like a great thing to kind of help someone new in the game of starting a small business try to succeed.
No, I think what y'all's hit on is perfect, with the ideas of that. Sex New is a very talented young man with his art class and things that they can do. Emily, if you and Sex New met, oh, okay. So we're all in the same focus in there.
So I understand you're asking for space instead of
I think we have that covered.
I think so too.
What exactly does what are we approving? The initiation of the project and to work jointly on a grant?
I think part of it is let me come, if y'all want to approve the theory and what we're talking about, while we put the numbers together as we're building 2024 budget.
We just kind of give you permission to explore that some more.
Yep, yes. I agree with that. But we'll be seeing the budget next month, so I think we can be working on that between October, November, finishing that up, rolling through. Because your new semester starts when?
January.
Okay, so I think that we can have this ready to go and meet with President Chrysler for anything, so we can all have the detail of that, so we would work toward being ready to go for his new semester. Tiffany had a question there.
The question is like if we can start like if you approve it, then we can start a design work. So this doesn't cost any money. Right? Because we get with the approval of the design, we can then set the cost aside and say, okay, what are we going to do the execution with you?
Can we decide that in this
As
setting?
far as a head nod, because we wouldn't be
Yeah.
spending any money moving forward, so yeah. Consensus. That's right.
Ellie too. And it's actually on the agenda for the meeting. There's no reason that we can't
Alright, moving on to, consideration of zoning ordinance proposal. Mark, what do you have for us?
I will tell you that, one of the potential developments that wanted to annex in has decided to, take, some thoughts and go through the county, make application with the county, and to, buy into our water and sewer out of city rates. Ron and I gave them a letter stating that we've got the water and sewer capabilities. The letter's good for 18 months. Just can't let it hang out there forever with that. And so, so that one is off the table at this point in time. And they did cut that project in half according to the county. So that one is off, but the others still kind of linger out there waiting. So nothing has changed. We still have our same two land use modifications, updates in play.
So, let's talk about why these are in our packets this month. Are you talking about us voting to proceed with one of them?
They've been tabled.
Okay, so,
So we need to decide, again, our October 12th date is our moratorium date, which is actually our meeting date next month. And, so we'll need some direction on that, whether it's extending from Thomas to Air, or extension of that agreement. Are we voting to pick one of these, or we continue to table it? But I talked with both of these, proposals that we've seen in to say, hey, this is where we are, and, this is what we're talking about and doing. So it's just for y'all to decide if you want to take them off the table or not.
Council, what are your thoughts on this? We talked about 2 months now, I guess, running. We talked about tabling it until, next year, but
What would the postponement date be?
January.
If they can start in January, we could have this budget actually into the budget. But you still could approve it, and it tells me I'm budgeting 40, I'm not budgeting 42.5. And we would just put it that we would, with our agreement, that this would start January 1st of 2024.
Or are we gonna kick the can down the road every single month?
Either or.
You, for the simple fact, after we do one of those, Thomas will have to review it, so there'll be that cost. And whether we talked about Thomas initially looking in our sections with you, Mark, or so it's probably $20,000 savings. So that would be another option. Well, that's the thought. I mean, Thomas has experience with what he has to defend us with once these come into place. So he has to review even if all these things are in place and give us an opinion, which is gonna be a cost. So do we want Thomas to be involved in it directly? In other words, with what Mark and his expertise with the real estate and Jerry's expertise with the real estate to help these come down so that at the end, we could understand it and city attorney what our rules and regulations are. So that would be an option also. It could be not quite as costly at the time. We had 43 plus reviews. I was looking at it and making his recommendations. We all had the budget hearings. So,
Can I make a suggestion?
sure.
Or, have a thought? Y'all, your zoning or your planning ordinance is different than a lot of jurisdictions do. So before you all, frankly, I think before you think anybody, whether it's me, whether it's Currency, whether it's Valiant, I think there needs to be some direction as to what you all want to do. You want a more, what I would call traditional zoning ordinance, where you've got a series of zoning classifications. You've got an R1 and R2, maybe a multifamily, and then you've got an O&I, you've got a commercial. I mean, any of you who've been around real estate at all know what I'm talking about. I don't know the history of why Demorest has what it has now. I do know that there are a number of mountain communities that were very resistant to zoning back in the 80s when it first started. So, like for instance, my first town of Hiawassee, they don't have any zoning at all. Towns county, so it's different. So I don't know. I mean, if I start out in that old direction, I'm going to suggest something that looks more like a conditional zoning ordinance.
That was my,
And I'm not sure whether you want.
an R1 zoning, an R2.
Yeah,
That's even what I discussed with these folks too.
Yeah. And so, say, I would probably find, I mean, what I've done for you all in the past with not anything that's complicated, but more simpler things. Find one that has from a community that's close in size, close in values, and provide that to you all, and then you begin to make modifications. Now, that's not going to be your development regs, that's just going to be zoning. So your development regs, you're going to have to do something different. And I think Nehemiah has given you all somewhat of a working document in that regard that you still need.
And we call that also from another term is development standards, which means your streets are this, your sidewalks are this, the standards are this. So those are all the things that I've been discussing with these folks. Again, do you want to go where it's very stringent on somebody coming in here to develop, or very loose, like it's been in other places and so forth, and you know what you get?
It is looser, it is something that's minor, or something that shuts down everything.
Go to that Demorest website and look at it under our land ordinance and see our development standards. And it's not an interpretation of what that means. It means you can have 4 lots to an acre on sewer. Easy math there, in this zoning. These are the type streets. This is what Brian is going to expect in your plans for water and sewer plans for him to approve. Everything is uniform across the board. I've never heard of what we have with the high-low, medium intensities and so forth. Never heard of it. I still am confused with it because it leads to a lot of interpretation. And it's just not clear at all.
In terms of what kind of ordinance you need, or I mean, that's really up to you all. I think that whether you hire Turnipseed or Value, they're going to ask the same question I'm asking. And they may be able to provide you with, they may have resources because of the variety of jurisdictions that they represent. And I believe that one of them, maybe both of them, got actual land planners. I understand the legal aspects of it, but I'm not a land planner. They're going to be able to give you what that person or what that entity will be able to do is give you protection as to what they think you ought to do. I've already told you what I'm going to suggest to you. And so that's I think there is some merit to don't hire one of these folks and have them do it. What I'm going to ask you to do is let me retain the services of a land planner and work with you. I've bid on those kind of projects before. Usually the land planner comes to me and asks me to provide legal work, and then kind of going out west here. I've done that kind of thing before. That's would be my approach, is that I will ask you to do what I'm going to ask you to do.
Those will be conversations that I need everybody to respond to you.
Waiting on promises that you can have that for us next month. I can have that for y'all next month. I'll talk to the company family members that I use expert witnesses in cases. And that would be, would that cover zoning, ordinances, land?
It's been a big issue, that has come from the top, for the county and all the cities, backing this up. So, that's what people will say.
Yeah, we also we make decisions where we're not going to keep more towards the ones that we keep tackling. I mean, our plan discussions resulting in discussion about cities and things that we
Jimmy Davis is our. And Amanda, y'all want to address your question to them?
Has there been discussion in these meetings about the various cities, other than maybe Clarksville, in basically adopting Habersham County zoning ordinance, or has there even been any discussion about that?
I've seen. They pretty much stayed with what they had. What they don't have.
That's really good service delivery. Okay, all right.
Thank you, Jimmy. I think Jimmy does want to in the meeting. Okay.
So it's pretty much a question of whether or not we also have to provide a month, and then we can make a decision on whether or not we're going to stay in all.
We're prepared.
And I'll, with the information I provide you, if you all decide to do that, you'll have a basis and a justification.
Because if we don't decide to make problems on it, we'll have a justification.
That is correct.
Very good. Moving on to the historic preservation. Can we table this until maybe 6 month period, so we come back to this? I might keep this on our minds as we try to find some other policy. Mark, you want to talk about the operating conditions?
Yes, this is our proposal from Fletcher EMI. Remember, this is a EPA, which is the feds, EPD is the state. And on our lead copper being done by October of 2024. And basically what EMI has done is developed a plan. It's got some rules to look at. It's not like you have to go dig up every water meter to see where it is. You're able to disqualify a section. Well, that was built in 1990. That was this section of this part of town was all developed in 1990. Well, we can take that off because this was after those days. Well, we've got 30-year employees that's got knowledge of when these lines were put in the ground in other areas. Well, they can discount a section of this off. So you can look back at other developments like that. Because when this first came out, we thought we were going to have to dig up around every meter box and do the testing with a magnet to see if it's lead and see what all it's got. It's not to that way because Brian and Fletcher have looked at this, looked at the areas, and he has come up with an amount not to exceed $7,500 for him to put this together for us, and we will know. So I think it's a heck of a price. Some larger cities have had a company come in and just say, all right, we'll charge you $100 and we'll check every meter. And so that's just, every how many meters you got, you know what that's gonna be. But when they do dig and they do record, they gotta have pictures taken, and it's gotta be well defined for EPA when this results all come out. So it's a feds push down to the state and then push down to the water providers throughout the state. So I think it's a heck of a price from what we originally thought could happen down to this to get our list.
Very good.
I'd like to echo that with the opposite, 7,000 customers, $700.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Very good. I think we all know the options on that. All right. Next is the sad resignation.
I don't know why this keeps flowing there, Donnie. Y'all just need to acknowledge this and vote to accept these two, and we can get this off the agenda going forward. Thank you, Donnie, for causing an issue.
Didn't realize it was, I thought the difficult part was getting on this.
Not getting off.
All right, Jonathan, you want to come and talk about your listing agreement? You got it for us.
I will say, when the chief walks up here, we actually had an offer yesterday from the South Georgia community. But I guess the chief got ahead of himself before he talked to the city manager. And his verbal offer was rescinded this morning per the city manager. So
I'm proposing that we enter an agreement with Billy Mountain to sell the old America for the remainder of every city of single class or 100 if it's less than 150. $30,000 or less.
And this was the thing that wasn't in the
While we have a little time, is there anything else y'all would like to discuss? You know, I'd like to talk about that vehicle several times. I don't know whether or not we're gonna have to vote to approve. But anything else y'all would like to talk about?
Yes, yes.
Meeting, pointed out, Thomas took the ball and wrote the resolution that we talked about, stating basically that we wanted to move forward. And in my view, it was perfectly AET. So my recommendation and thoughts on the resolution is that it stated exactly what we wanted to do, to let our community know that we were a community of inclusiveness and equity, and we wanted everybody to feel to belong and work with us and to have this facility, gymnasium, park, and everything for everyone in our community. So with that, recommend that it be put on the agenda and we just go forward and sign it. Mark is recommended approval.
lady this past, since our last meeting, and said, you know, we have to have 2 community meetings, and we have to have folks show up. I said, what exactly is our meeting topic? And she has it forwarded. She said, we're writing these as we speak. And so, because I'm like, what are we trying to do? Who do I need to be here? Who do I need to target to get to come to this meeting? Kind of thing. So I'm still waiting to hear back some of that information and stuff. But I've got her contact, we've made contact. Because again, you have to have the meeting, have the wellness as one, and economic development as the other one. So you can qualify, because the meeting is a must do. And the other two, the second level. may have been bronze, something like that. So, but these meetings have to be twice a year, and if nobody shows up, you got a problem. People have to show up.
Okay.
So, yes.
So if they don't show up, I recommend that food.
That's right, that's right.
Very good. Is there a cost?
We call that it's like a year. You have to keep up your 2 meetings every year and certify that you have meetings.
Next.
Allowed it, do you think so? Okay, I just want to give you guys an update on the draft of the plan. I've sent you guys emails asking for your input. Got a couple of texts from you guys, but I'd like for you to put it in email format for me if you would. Some of the things, just looking at this that I pulled out, was priorities ahead for all governments, for Habersham County, and for the cities. For the county is update land use policies, coordinate land use with utilities, identify acceptable sites for industry, and support agriculture. For our cities, is seek to repair, upgrade housing stock. And that kind of caught my mind. There's some houses in our city that could stand to be upgraded, you know? Continue to invest in historic town centers. Focus on sustaining and improving neighborhoods and invest in parks. I think we're doing a very good job. Under public comment, we've got the bulk of the public comments received were in consensus with the preference for maintaining safety and a rural lifestyle in the face of oncoming growth. And that while some change was desired, the form of that change and growth should be managed so to elicit key job centers, commerce without disrupting a sense of community already in place. Many respondents expressed concern regarding the prospects for increased crime and accompanying growth in the area, especially in the short term if law enforcement departments were understaffed to meet growing needs. Coupled with this concern of overgrowth was the prevailing notion that many Habersham communities had vacant, dilapidated, or underutilized land that could be used by a new business or residents. Efforts should be directed at those making these priorities viable and active before concentrating too greatly on developing greenfields and sacrificial. Oh, I'm not doing that, brother. All right. Targeted mid to long-term needs and objectives by department. And for the city, maintenance, repair, and eventual replacement of mechanical equipment at the wastewater treatment facility and lift stations, as well as groundwater, wells, waters, booster pump stations, and water storage tanks. And on that subject, I think we need, as a city, to start looking long-term for a new water treatment plant. This is a 10-year process, and what did you tell me? We got a contract, the 10-year contract, and we're 1 year into it. I think we really need to start putting that on our agendas. What you guys were discussing there earlier is the departmental assessments. The county, Habersham County, Clarksville, Alto, Demorest, and Mount Airy, has long-range plans and budgets Demorest does not have, along with Alto and Mount Airy. Has concerns about existing levels of service. Again, we're blank there. And needs capital improvements less than 10 years. And we have all but water and sewer. Not real sure what that means, all but water and sewer. Yes, all. This is a little page for Demorest here. It's talking about most common values cited by planning process. People want it to be safe, charming, beautiful, improved, quaint, rural, inviting, thriving, historic, friendly, and a small town feel. I think that's what we have. But how do we keep that? Most common values cited in the planning process was basically the same list. Safe, rural, beautiful, small town feel, charming, hometown, thriving, friendly, quiet, affordable, community focused, family oriented. I think all y'all realize my focus is single family homes. I think Demorest should be a place where you would want to come and raise your families. I don't want to necessarily see us turn into an industrial area. I know you're going to have growth and it's got to be, managed, but I just want to see us stay this small town. Because I sat out here the other day and watched kids playing in the park, and I'm like, that's it. That's what we're looking for. But I would invite y'all's comments, and as soon as I can get them, I can get them typed up and get them titled. And with that, I thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Is there anything anybody else would like to add during the work session, or is there a consideration?
For those of y'all who came in late, we had cookies and coffee and some water, so forth in here. Ladies' bathrooms to the left, men's bathroom to the right.